Hello and welcome everybody. Now you've got a couple of new faces. I don't think we've seen these guys before, have we?
Not this weekend.
No,
No,
I don't think
no,
we
no,
have.
no.
Do you wanna introduce yourself?
Well, I'm M&J. I honestly dropped in as a bit of a last-minute thing. I came to see some friends, and I was like, well, while I'm here, I thought I'd cast a game of Counter-Strike. So,
Likewise,
yeah.
we thought we'd give them a little bit of a break. Of course, you've been stuck with their ugly mugs all day, so we thought you'd give it a little bit of a switch up as well. I am, of course, Affinity, hopping on the mic as well, and it is a pleasure to be here at Wolverhampton. Of course, a little break from our beloved Kettering. Although having said that, we will be going back next LAN as well, so won't miss it for long. Have you been enjoying LAN, enjoying the scenery?
It's all right, isn't it? I wish we could pan the camera and show you the view. We've got a lovely view
We've
from
got a
here.
lovely field over to the side of us as well. It's really
Yeah.
nice, especially on a sunny day.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I don't mind Wolverhampton. I mean, I'm a purebred Kettering man, right? I mean, I'm not from Kettering, but I've
It's
been
got a
coming
place
to-
in all of our hearts.
It's got a place in all of our hearts. I've been going to Epic LAN in Kettering since, I think the first Epic LAN I played was EPIC39. So
Oh, a
I've been
bit of
going
a
to quite a
veteran
few
then.
Epic LANs, right?
Ooh.
And this is, this doesn't quite feel like home. It doesn't quite feel right. But
Yeah, it doesn't sit right when we does it. But we'll be back soon enough.
yeah,
Now-
and our hosts have been lovely.
Bringing it back to Wolverhampton. Now, the teams we've got, and the teams we'll be seeing fight for the battle in the final place, for the final spot in the final place, is 7 AM and the Neighbours. Now, I know you know both of these teams, so can you give us a little bit of a rundown, maybe players to look out for, players that have been doing particularly well recently?
It's a bit of a no-brainer when it comes to the Neighbours, right? Smooya, the big
course.
superstar name. I was having a chat with Bevy just before, like 5 minutes ago, right? Just down chatting with him, and it was quite funny because this game's on HRTV, right?
It is indeed.
So there's a little bit more weight behind it, and there's a little bit more to prove for some of these players. Now, actually, according to the HLTV statistics, Bevy's like the star player, right? Now,
is.
that's not necessarily the case. But yeah, 1.14 rating, and he wants to maintain that. That's kind of his goal. It's like,
is.
keep that up, try and...
You know, they can lose, but as long as that 1.14
long
stays
as he's
intact
still
or
up there.
improves, we're in good standing as well. We don't get
Exactly.
in trouble, they don't get in trouble.
Exactly.
Now, talking about the vetoes, I think we're going to get to see the vetoes now as well. Can you point out anything, seems a bit normal to you, anything that you might see a little bit abnormal, and who this really leans towards as well?
I'll be perfectly honest, I'm really not too sure. It's very, very difficult to sort of put any kind of weight on a veto like this when you've got a mixed team like the Neighbours, right? Obviously, we know the favoured pool, I guess, for 7 AM and what teams they've been playing. What maps they've been playing this weekend. But for the Neighbours, even though they're players that, don't get me wrong, have got a lot of history playing together, and there's obviously a lot of cohesion, especially with players like Adam and Dobbo. And frankly, Adam has IGL'd all of those players at some point in time, right? Whether it be in previous mixes at Epic LANs under the Neighbours name, or whether it be in actual competitive rosters like when him and Dobbo, for example, played at Gamer Legion and ITB, right? So yeah, it's going to be a little more coordinated than just your random slapped together mix. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some funky picks into this one. A little bit surprising that Vertigo has been banned out first by the Neighbours. That does surprise me. Ancient pick from 7 AM. I like that. It's a map that they have been playing this weekend. It's one that they've been confident
We've seen it a lot,
on.
yeah.
Yes, so no surprise there that they jump in for that. Overpass. Okay, I haven't actually covered too much of the Neighbours this weekend. I've been stood behind them, so I should have.
You've had a front
really.
row seat to the action. I'd say that's even better than being up here.
But yeah, I couldn't give you too much insight on that one. But Nuke's always a fun third map, and I quite like Nuke as a third map because Knife Round decides the sides, and it's statistically actually still the most CT-sided map in the pool. That and Overpass are the two most CT-sided maps
And
in
it's
the pool.
interesting to see both of them, of course, in the map pool, back to back, no less, as well.
Yes, yeah.
So Knife Round going to be very important on Nuke, I think. Do you expect us to see a third map? Actually, we've been talking about this Nuke. Are we going to get there?
I actually think so, yeah. I think of all of the games that we've seen this weekend, we've seen a lot of 2-0s, especially yesterday. There was a lot of 2-0s in those sort of closing group matches and opening playoffs matches. I wouldn't be surprised. Now we're sort of getting into the meat of the tournament, right? We're getting into a point where we're in our late stage playoffs games. I think we could definitely see a third mapper. And to be honest, I'd like to. I think that that's really what would do this game justice. These two teams that are, absolutely, absolute veterans, right? Absolute veterans of the scene. I mean, I've talked about the Neighbours side and the players that are under that squad, but actually 7 AM, led by LVN, right? Someone that has never really breached out of the UK scene, but someone that is regarded very, very highly in UK Counter-Strike, and somebody that, he's a bit of a legend. Let's say it for what it is. He's a legend within the UK Counter-Strike scene, and he has developed talent, he's developed players, and he has brought rosters together and taken them to the top heights of the UK scene for years. So yeah, another Epic LAN top placing or win under his belt. I'm sure that's what he's hungry for.
It is indeed, and there's a couple of players that we've seen in these as Epic LAN, veteran winners on the stage. Of course, there isn't going to be a stage final, but this is the competition for a battle for the place in the final tomorrow, of course. They will be going up against the winner of the loser bracket final. We don't quite have the information on who has won that yet. I'm not even sure if that's got underway. But either way, it's going to be a banging matchup, and it's definitely setting up the rest of the event, really.
Yeah. I actually found out earlier on as well. I've been scouring around trying to find a stage.
Yeah.
Right? I've been looking around saying, where's the final going to be played? Right? Turns out it's at everyone's desks.
It
okay?
is.
Epic LAN said that they wanted for the Summerlands a bit of an old school vibe. And yeah, it means that when we see the grand finals, people are going to be crowded around the desks. And that's something that I haven't seen. My first LAN that I was playing, as I say, back at EPIC39, there wasn't a stage there. It's in the upstairs bit of the Kettering Conference Centre. There's no main stage. And it meant, I remember that LAN, it was Fierce. Were they playing CEX? Might have been playing CEX, but it was Fierce.
It rings a bell, yeah.
I remember standing behind Fierce, right? And it was like a massive crowd of people stood behind them in the finals. And it was so hype. And you've literally got people fist bumping the players as they get in big plays and things like that. And it really, really just felt old school. It felt good. And I'm quite excited for that, for the grand finals here, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, I mean, no main stage. It's a little bit of a
It's
shame,
a little bit sad, but I like the old school vibe. They do it every Summerland, I believe it is. They don't bother with a stage. They like to go back to that sort of the roots with it, and I really like it. We see it a little bit already with some of the games like Verdun earlier when they were playing. I can't remember who it was, but it was getting really loud. There are crowds around all of them. Everyone's always got their mates behind them. I personally really like it because you're not just watching it from afar. Yeah. You're in the moment as well. It feels a lot more immersive, and I am all for that. I love it. Kind of sad that we won't get to watch the game from down here, but of course we got to bring you guys the action. Little bit of a hike away from them as well, aren't you? You did a little bit of a rundown before the game. They feeling good about it?
I think so. I didn't really. It was just fist bumps, right?
Was it just
fist bumps? It was good luck, boys. That was that, right? It wasn't time to chat. They're in the zone.
Did they tell you good luck as well?
No,
because you got to deal with them.
Yeah, well. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it is a bit of a trek away, isn't it? I like the fact that we're a little bit separate, but yeah.
We've got a balcony view as well. We're on the top floor.
We're on the top floor.
Get a look down on people, The power's gone to my head.
Yeah.
It's been a long weekend.
I can imagine.
We should hopefully be getting ready soon, though.
Hopefully
I'm thinking. Now, specific players to look out for. We talked a little bit about Smooya from the side of Neighbours. From the side of 7am, actually. Anyone that you specifically want to highlight, player or two, that you think has been doing particularly well, either more than usual, or just somebody that's just stayed consistent throughout the whole thing?
Honestly, I like all of the players on 7am, and some of them I've sort of had more experience with sort of talking to or playing against or whatever than others. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the whole squad, and actually the core that's sort of been together for some time. YZO, Husky, fantastic player under 7am. And yeah, when he shows up, he can really, really put up the big frags. Honestly, though, the big piece for me is LVN. I know I've mentioned his name, but he just brings so much value to that team. And even when he has games, now he's an IGL that can frag, right? He's an IGL that has a lot of mechanical skill behind him. But even when he doesn't show up, you know that he's bringing value elsewhere. And you know that he's such a calm IGL. He's such a calm person in real life as well, that he just keeps everybody cool. And when things aren't going well, maybe they're a map down, maybe they're a few rounds down, he just will happily call a pause and he'll just chill everyone out. And it's just so refreshing to be playing under an IGL like LVN that doesn't get emotional, doesn't get super angry, isn't there bashing his desk and sort of bringing the team morale down. He's there bringing everybody up. And I think that that's such a valuable piece to the machine.
Especially at a LAN as well, where emotions are running really high. Yes. There's always a lot of shouting, there's a lot of tension. I've heard a lot of desk slamming as well, which in situations like this, it rustles the whole of the table, like the whole strip of tables.
Yes.
So everyone feels it when somebody gets annoyed. And it's definitely good having that sort of calm center in such a bustling environment as well, because it's always high energy around there. There's always someone playing. You can't really escape it, really.
No.
And so that's been really good to see him bring such calm sort of center to it, as you said.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, we have to quickly thank our sponsors, of course, because without them, this wouldn't be possible. So thanking Draytech, of course, Intel for doing all they do. Our wonderful Noble chairs here, as well as Overclockers. Without all of them, this event wouldn't be possible. We wouldn't be sitting here casting the amazing games that we are. We wouldn't be here in Wolverhampton. So thank you very much to them. They are very comfy chairs, I will just say.
They are. They're lovely. I have one of these at home.
So we get the nice comfy chairs, of course. I feel really bad because our wonderful producer and observers are on, they're on like pub stools as well. So we definitely got the good end of the stick there.
We did. Yeah. I wouldn't swap it for the world. You're talking about. Yeah, we've just got a sad face.
We just got a little sad face appear on our screen from our producer.
Brutal. But yeah, I mean, running back, emotions high, right? They have been down in the land hall. A lot of people. It was quite quiet yesterday. I was quite surprised when I turned up. Wasn't too many people shouting. It was quite a timid
Silent
vibe,
rage.
right? Yeah, I guess so. But today, down there this morning, I don't know if you've been down there. People are screaming at each other.
Loud.
People are screaming at each other. People are standing up and they're giving it the beans. And I absolutely love that, right? That's epic land. That's general sort of regional lands in a nutshell for me. And I think that's what makes them so great.
It was two teams were facing each other because on the tables you have one team sitting either side of it, and they were facing each other. So it wasn't even at the end of rounds they were standing up and shouting. It was between rounds. It was between kills. It was insane. It was really good to see. Actually, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Close proximity.
It was face to face. You know, holding them back at times. But it was really great to see.
Yeah. I like that.
Now, I do believe we're just waiting on a few more players.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. As I say, I went down there. They weren't even in the server.
They weren't even in the server.
Ready. I thought they'd be ready. I mean, they were DMing and stuff. But
yeah, everyone's been DMing. A lot of KZ I've seen as well.
Yeah, fair bit of that.
A lot less surf than I thought I'd see at an event like this, actually.
Yeah, I think
because a lot of people have been doing it too.
They kind of killed
that.
They
did a little bit, just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit. But no, these desks are pretty sturdy. Yeah, all right. So the players are actually in the server.
Are they now? We're the ones that they're waiting on then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sorry about that.
No, they're not waiting on us. We're waiting for them to ready up.
Oh, right? We're waiting on them. Okay, no, I don't apologise then. My apologies.
But no, I mean, tension's high. These desks are pretty sturdy. So whilst it does sort of rattle things a bit, they don't.
Are we gonna be like getting up?
We're doing a stress test of them, right?
I'm expecting some hype moments.
Me too.
Because we've got some big names clashing here.
Yes.
And big styles as well. I think it's going to be a perfect sort of combination of the two. Because of course, with mixed teams, there's not really a developed style, not really something they've been working on. But as we said, a lot of these players have played together in the past before. So it's an interesting mesh.
Yes.
Of everyone bringing their own individual sort of favors and preferences to the table.
I guess so, yeah, And yeah, as we get into these late playoff games, I think that's really going to come into fruition. Now, bear in mind we're waiting for the players to ready up, right? Can I tell a fun story?
Tell a fun story. Yeah, okay. Story time, everyone.
I-65, I think it was. I-64, maybe I-65.
Couple of years ago.
I was there with some friends. They were playing in a team, and I was just sort of there chilling with them. I was playing as well, but during this game, I was just there.
Counter-Strike, right?
Yeah,
just checking.
Yeah, Counter-Strike. Playing on Inferno, right? And super high emotions. There used to be a teammate of mine called Stu, Big Stu, right? And he was his name was Big Stu, right? And he was a big fella. And yeah, he used to just get so hyped and he'd scream, and he was like the life of the party. He had such an energy. And Sorex, who is someone you might know from the scene,
of course.
He was playing, clutched around on Inferno, A site, like a 1v3 or something, clutched it. Oh my god, let's go! Woo! We're shouting, right? Goes, diffuses the bomb. Stu's so excited. He's punching the desk. He's slamming it, right? He's sat next to Jack. The keyboard does this. Jack lets go of E and doesn't have time to get back on it, fumbles the defuse, and loses the round.
It's like last Epic LAN we had, and I love to mention this every time because he's a friend of mine, Fate, who made ESL Pro League, I think it was, at the time, where in February at EPIC39, of course, in our beloved Kettering, he was defusing the bomb, stood up to trash talk, and accidentally pressed his surf turnkey, 15 degrees, came off, didn't have time to defuse, and that was the round to keep them in overtime as well. They lost the game, and it went everywhere. The moral of this story is don't celebrate too soon.
Don't celebrate too soon, yeah.
But talking of celebrating too soon, I think we are getting ready to go. The players are ready, and so are we.
Yes.
So we are going to get into this. I'm super excited, of course, to get into the game. We're being counted down, right? Ready? Should we wave them goodbye?
Bye, everybody.
And we're back again. The voices in your head for Ancient. Do you want to take this one away?
Come on then, folks. So obviously, we've got 7 AM on the T side. LVN going for the util. No surprise there. The hard support player. He's got himself a smoke, 2 flashes, a molly. And YZO with a smoke of his own. They're starting to lean over towards this B bomb site. Thinking it might be something a little bit quicker towards Cave here.
I think it is, and we can see all of them playing together, not really bothering to take much space. It is just going to be a full Cave rush. Couple of smokes coming out as well, pushing Extinct off the angle there.
Oh, flashbang in, Extinct. A lot to do, but only good for one as Husky trades it. Soon as those Glocks get up close and personal, they can do some big damage. And YZO continuing that train. A double kill for him. C4 tapped in, the retake hot and heavy, and it's Adam and Dobbo to get it done.
Absolutely. That smoke was absolutely huge in order to get the bomb down as well. Keeping them out of reach, letting that bomb go down uncontested, giving them space to get into the post plant as well. So that little bit of utility expended. Oh, having said that, Adam doesn't need the utility. Going for the headshots here. Gets one, is going to follow up the other, gets a little bit greedy and will lose their life. Of course, Dobbo there to punish, but has to find the final person. Molotov on the bomb just to buy them a little bit of extra time. Gonna tap the defuse, try bait LVN out. Okay. And unsuccessfully will do so, will lose their life, and that bomb will take down.
That's a lovely round from 7am. I always say on Ancient, right, it's quite easy to get onto that B bomb site. There's not a lot of cover for the CT. So as soon as you've got a couple of smokes, you pop one in cave, you pop one towards short or long, you get a flash over there, you can super easily take that bomb site. But holding it is the difficult part, right? Because again, it's a double-edged sword. There's not a lot of cover. You have to fall away from it. But yeah, Neighbours, decent shot at the retake. Lovely shot from Adam, but it's not enough. They are going to go for a force buy here. So we'll see 4 MP9s, Adam on that 5.7. But on the other side of things, it's a pretty stacked attack, actually. 4 Galils, a Mach 10 on silence.
And utility to back it up as well, which on a map like Ancient is absolutely crucial. Having said that, battle in mid already favouring the Neighbours. They're getting a 2-man advantage before really 7am gets any footing in the map.
Yeah, lovely bit of initiative from them there, just to press forward. Bevy. Bad timing, but we'll be able to slip into Donut. Unspotted, Smooya pounces, only good for the one, as Bevy, hungry for more, but Vacancy doubles up and keeps their equity slightly high in this round.
It does indeed, but it's still not the position you want to be in there as well, forcing so heavily into this round, expecting it to be relatively free, I'd imagine, but Neighbours not wanting to let them get away, not letting them to get anything here, start anything. Extinct, wanting to take down Husky, will trade him out immediately. Won't quite clear the corner there, though. We've all done it, we've checked the corner, thought we haven't seen anything and had to double take there. And that will be the conversion round over to the Neighbours. That's not what you want.
Yeah, definitely not if you're 7am. That's a bit of a worst case scenario. And honestly, Ancient is such a cruel mistress for those nooks and crannies, those corners that you have to check. There's so many of them. And actually, even just the foliage and stuff, sometimes you see a bit of tree poking out. You think, is that a player? And it's all a little bit overwhelming. Beautiful bit of aggression from Smooya, though. Feels like the Neighbours.
Pushed up.
Yeah, they're getting really comfortable with just taking this mid control. And as soon as they do, there is such an advantage.
They've surrounded them, there's nowhere they can go now. And even backing off after the post plant as well. Bomb will go down, which is money, but there's nowhere left for them to hide. And that's it. Round over before we can really say anything there.
I mean, obviously a force buy there from 7am, but that's only because they were on double eco. They had no loss bonus, they were at the 1400 mark, so it was just Tech 9s. They've done a decent job at finding a kill on a bomb plant, but it's obviously not going to be enough. So we'll see a couple of P250s, maybe a couple of Deagles or something coming into this next round, but it's not going to be a full buy for the Neighbours. Couple of freebies to come their way, a 3-1 scoreline anticipated, and the tools to work with as well. Not only have they got the rifles out, but everybody with sort of 2.5k in the bank post-buy, and that should extend further. So it's about damage control here. Try not to take too many casualties, try not to let them plant the bomb. Simple as that.
It is indeed, but having said that, they are definitely looking to try find something here. They're not going to just sit back and let them take the round for free. The flashbang is perfect, gives them the opportunity to take Adam down, but Extinct already there behind to punish them. LVN already sort of separated and isolated from the group.
Smooya on the angle. Okay, smoke drops down. When I see the little line, I'm thinking, is that a flashbang? No, it's not. And yeah, for YZ Husky, they're actually not going to press forward for that frag. 4v4 retake. Hot on their heels. They should pull the trigger on this soon. It's only pistols and a couple of them are low, but LVN makes things trickier. They're getting this done.
They are indeed, however, Bev, Smooya gonna be the ones to try bring it back, but it is just Smooya now trying to find something here, trying to keep this round, really round that they didn't expect to lose.
He's got no kit. He's got no kit. He has to back away from this. He has to just hide now.
And no HP to back it up either. He has to make sure he is so far away from that bomb or there is no point even trying to hide. Husky gonna get away with the saved rifle as well. What a round to win there.
Yeah, I mean, we said, the question you asked me in the pregame was, is this going to go to a third map, right? I think this sort of is the proof in the pudding, right?
It's the indicator, yeah. It's a good omen.
It is. This has been so back and forth. It honestly could not be closer. An incredible round from 7am, showing that they've still got equity in these rounds, even when they're just down to the pistols. Ooh. A bit of a technical pause here. We haven't got any information just yet on what the issue is, but hopefully nothing too problematic.
Nothing
hopefully
too serious, likely.
We should be able to resolve things. Hopefully it's not like any of my old tech pauses. We used to call tech pauses to go to the bar and buy Jaeger bombs, and then we go to the other team and we give them Jaeger bombs. All right, so we're going back to us.
Back
It
to
sounds
us.
like it might be something.
Yeah, you know it's really bad when you see our faces this
Yeah,
quickly.
our faces again, so maybe something a little bit longer. I can tell another story, though. We can have more story time.
Yeah, it's story time, story time.
All right, so one of the last Epic lands. It was the one, in fact, it was the one that they did during COVID in Coventry, the one in the hotel.
One.
You know the loophole one where it was like you can't have events, but if it's at a hotel, then you can justify that you're at a restaurant or something weird like that.
Oh,
and they did one in Coventry.
yeah, the rules were, they were weird.
Yeah, they were strange. So we played there. I think we're ready to go back in. All right.
Okay, keep telling the story.
I'll tell the story.
Speed run it.
I'll speed run it. We were playing there. We were playing against the team. We were just winding them up and we kept calling tech pauses. They got to 15 and then we called a tech pause. It was like unlimited, right? And they were like, what's the issue? What's the issue? And we said, oh, keyboard's broken whilst typing on the keyboard that's working, right? And yeah, they were not happy. And we kept them on a string for like 15 minutes just pretending that we had tech issues.
And that is why you need airtight rule books, ladies and gentlemen, is because we have wonderful
troublemakers
people
like me.
Troublemakers like you that just want a little drink.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, when at LAN, why not?
I'm sorry, Coggy.
You're not sorry,
that's
are you?
who I was. I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
I wouldn't be. It was a lot of fun, you know.
Yeah, it
a little
was.
bit of fun, and that's what LANs are for, really.
It is, of course.
And competition, of course. That's what we're here for. It's the competition.
Absolutely.
I think we are ready to go back into game here, of course, picking up on the 5th round. Now, that was a really important round there for 7 AM to win. And one that we really didn't expect them to either. It gives them the ability to buy into this round. Money still really shaky for them, but this is the start. If they can build something from this.
All right.
Sorry, our producer's just giving us a couple of notes.
Yeah. Pronunciation ones. Bit of a strange one, but we'll roll with it. Finally, though, we're into the meat of this half. Rifle round. Both teams with no contingencies and guns on every man. Extinct. Going for the spams through the smoke gives away his position, and Zai is so ready for that. A 2-man advantage and 7 AM. What a way to kick off the bye round.
Absolutely. And we will see things slow down a little bit here because the Neighbours really have to reevaluate what they want to do now. Losing 2 people so early on in the round, really not ideal, especially on the CT side, because luckily, unluckily for them, they have no map control now. Adam is going to hear the presence towards the site here and is going to call people over. Bev wanting to sort of equalize it a little bit, give them something to work with. Silence trained on this angle as well. Spots Adam and will take him out of the round.
Silence.
Will they peek this angle again, though?
Surely not. Surely not, but the issue is there's only one way.
Where else to go?
Exactly,
yeah.
There's only one way out of Temple. They got rid of the second door, so it is just going to be a single-pronged approach. They're going to funnel through and walk right into the blender that is Husky's M4. 2 headshots and, well, 7 AM in the lead for the first time since pistol round.
They are indeed, and they've been trying to keep this away. They've been trying to trade back rounds as well. They are starting to piece something together here. If they can get a 3rd round, this will be the most rounds we will have seen strung together, and it will be the money building up in the back pocket. Look at Husky. 7,000 fat stacks in the back pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit polarized. Like Zai's on $700, Husky's on 7,000. But yeah, definitely enough cash to be able to drop over to each other at least for the next few rounds. Bev, come on.
With the Zeus, come on.
Get things going. I'd love to see a kill with this. Nobody.
We haven't seen one thus yet at LAN. At least not on any of the stream games.
Does he get a special prize? Is it like getting a 9 data or a 147 or something?
I think we can offer to buy them a pint, but I don't think there's like a cash prize for Zeus. I think we all will. We'll take him down to the pub.
Okay.
He's diligently holding this angle though. He wants this kill.
He wants this Zeus kill. I'm not sure he's going to get it. Lovely
I
one
don't think he is, no.
Though. Husky picking him apart. The dream's still alive, though. Bev's still kicking, and he's still got his Zeus.
It is. I'm hoping he gets a chance to use it, but he's moving towards an angle. Oh, he's just not going to be there in time. The taps are going to be good, but they're not quite good enough, LVN. Going to tap him away from a round, delete him out the round, and that will be a 4th round for 7 AM. Most rounds we've seen consecutively so far, and it's a good sign for 7 AM. They have the money. Of course, LVN, as we said, a little less on the cash, but everyone building up in the pocket. They'll be good for a couple of rounds now. They can afford to lose a couple, which it's not looking like they will. Utility really light on the side of Neighbours here, which on a map like Ancient is so devastating.
Yeah. Could cause them some problems. Prioritising the firepower over the utility is always a bit of an issue, and Zai blast him right through, causing Bevy a whole world of hurt. He's having a bit of a rough start to the game. Smooya looks to make up for lost time as Zai takes another. And he's just single-handedly getting this done. Look how much ground he's taken. Look how much map control has been taken here with 3 kills. I mean, that's it. The round's on his shoulders. It's done and dusted.
He knows where Vacancy is, though. The shot's fired in mid. He's going to go for it. Vacancy has to be looking the right way. Hit by the flashbang itself and will be deleted from the round.
Oh, that's awkward. That's real
always.
awkward.
Oh, yeah, I saw him creeping towards, and I thought, surely this is it. Surely he's gonna get it. And then, of course, the flashbang hits him. That noise given
the
away.
little squelch, right?
The little squelch. Again, another thing we haven't seen this LAN is somebody killed by a nade hitting them yet. Very rare to see, but you know, there's usually one.
Sometimes, yeah. Well, maybe this
and
game.
they're back on pistols again. This has been really rough for the Neighbours, barely ever having the ability to buy in properly and really find footing in this game yet.
Well, Bev's once again aggressive here in A main, and I like this. He went for this last round, but wasn't actually, not last round, the round before last, but he wasn't spotted. He aggressed up and was taken out later on as the last man standing. So, yeah, it means that he can go for this aggressive play again. It might not be anticipated by LVN. Dobbo, tucked behind this smoke. Wants to wait for it to fade, might go for a little bit of a pot shot. Nobody's going to be facing into him, though. 7 AM playing a slower approach to this. They know that, yeah, the opponents that they're up against here are very mechanically talented, and if you give them a chance to hit those 1-digs, they absolutely will.
Yeah, don't fit them individually, and they have been teaming up, they've been bunching up together. Not really going for map control as much as we've seen the Neighbours doing, of course, but really just wanting to take this raw firepower, take the shots. Missed shot there will give away the location of the AWP, and that will be rotations, maybe looking at being called over towards them, because absolutely nothing has been heard on the other side of the map yet.
Husky, beautiful headshot. Picking them apart. Extinct, one of the harder hitters, already dropped. Adam, that's awkward. Needed to stay up close and hit the headshot with that first bullet. And as soon as he doesn't, he knows that he is dead to rights. Vacancy, a laser beam through the smoke. And Dobbo and Beve last alive. Surely no chance. Okay, lovely 1D.
You got to say that again, maybe you'll get another one.
Yeah, go on.
Surely no chance.
Surely no chance. Surely
no
he doesn't get another one.
Surely Vacancy doesn't peek into this deagle again.
I hope not. Not for 7 AM.
They're not going to overextend here, I don't think. They know where they are, and they are willing just to let this timer tick down. There's no kit. We said it'd happen again.
One more.
Oh, headshot in exchange. And there is really nothing that could be done here. No kit, and it is just going to be a matter of maybe trying to get some X kills. Actually, it's just going to be a matter of getting out with his life.
Dobbo is such a talent. I've enjoyed watching Dobbo for years and just his career progressing. I was excited when he got his spot on Gamer Legion. I thought that that was going to be his sort of ticket into Tier 1. Maybe not quite ready for it. He did perform well, but yeah, not well enough to be picked up by anyone.
But he's here at the highest tier of events possible.
IEM
the Epic Land. IEM Wolverhampton, the one, the only. It's never going to happen again.
Yeah.
I don't think so, at least, unless something goes severely wrong. But IEM Wolverhampton, the one, the only. We have another pause being called here. Not quite sure if it is a player pause or a tech pause. We'll be finding out in just 1 second. What would you be saying right now if you're the Neighbours? If you could coach them right now, if you could step in, or I mean, who are we for them to be the coaches?
Yeah,
but if we were to step in and give them some
anything
advice.
I say anything and Bev will go, shut up, Emma. Like, stop talking.
Assume tech pause always. I will message if tech. Thank you very much. So it is just a tech pause.
It was just a tech pause. Okay, talking things over. Yeah, I'd just be giving them a shake. I'd be saying,
Who
come on,
do you think
boys.
called it though? Who do you think called it? Take a pot shot.
Oh, it would have been Adam, I think.
You think Adam called it?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure Adam called it.
Because they've got to try stop this momentum now, because it is starting to snowball. They have been unable to get many buy rounds in at all. And of course, looking at the money in 7 AM is good. It's really good.
Yes, not only do they need to win this round, but they're not going to get any freebies, right?
And talking of winning this round.
Okay, not bad. Lovely couple of opening kills. Bit of damage done from the nade as well. Now, it seems negligible when you tag up Silence or LVN for 20-30, but exactly, it's in no man's land.
It's not even no man's land. It's mid-3 crosshairs.
Yeah, enemy territory then.
Ooh, spam through the walls, good for a little bit of damage. Taking this thing down to 33 health.
Extinct. Yeah, he's low, but I don't think that should cause him too many problems. Silence, he's been boosted up on this box the entire round, waiting for someone to peek into him. Finally, his prayers are answered. But I don't think they'll get too much more out of this, especially with Bev finding Vacancy. That's pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered the round. LVN still fancies his chances, apparently.
He is feeling this round. He's wanting it. With the backup from the AWP there. Will be spotted. Missed shot, however. Shot baited out. They will jump down now. Molly gonna force him off the angle. Bev gonna get the kill there on LVN. And Silence just gonna opt to save this AWP. The money's good enough, but again, not the right weapon for a 1v4 here. We've seen it happen, but not willing to risk it, not willing to chance it. Just wanting to take this safely into the next round.
It's the right call to make, yep.
He's now got to try to defend it, though, because they know where he was. and they know where he will have gone.
I don't think they're going to hunt him here. I think the call was made, do not touch
They don't
this,
have the
right?
money to.
They don't have any money. They're on the CT side. Everything's a little bit more expensive, and they know that silence is absolutely stacked. So even if he dies here, it's really not that big an issue. So yeah, the Neighbours will take a third round. They play it beautifully, but they will still let that AWP slip through.
They will, and that is the momentum broken. Now, they really do have to get a couple more off the back of this to make this worth it. Of course, every round on the board, taking them closer to the halftime. You really want to be going into the second half at an advantage, which is still very much possible here, but they have to find something off the back of it as well, because they are so far down now, and you got to think about the mental as well.
Yes.
Losing that many in a row. 5 in a row, was it?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you've got some real veterans here. You've got a lot of players that are very mentally resilient and should be able to recover off of a bit of a rocky start, especially considering it is their opponent's map pick.
But it is a marathon, not a sprint as well. This is just the start as well. So hopefully they're feeling okay. Hopefully they're well rested. They have had a couple of games today as well.
Yeah, Epic Land's a little bit brutal, as any LAN is, to be honest. But it's a little bit brutal with the schedule, right? You have to play a lot of Counter-Strike, and it's very difficult to stay focused. Well, yeah, I guess so.
Got to give the casters a break as well.
Yeah, yeah. But it's very difficult to stay focused when you're playing that much Counter-Strike back to back to back. Vacancy pushing him with his lovely case hardened. Do you know, I've been trying to buy Vacancy's AK for years. 2-3 years. I've been badgering him to buy.
Has he given you an unreasonable amount of money to ask for it?
No, he just said he doesn't want to sell it. He's like, I'll let you know if I want to sell it, but
it's never happening.
Years have passed. It's never happening. I appreciate the commitment.
Yeah, you know. Now we will see Silence up here, pushing up again, trying to find anything with the AWP, scouting out a little bit. Everyone hidden too far away, but the push here. Waiting in. Turned away from Adam there, gets the first kill, immediately traded out, and the Neighbours are just going to shove them in the wood chipper, I guess.
Yeah, that's an absolute crunch. Beautiful setup there towards the B site. And they've sort of got this triangle formation of defense that as soon as Team 7am walk into it, they do not stand a chance, and just completely overwhelmed by how many angles and how many gunfights they have to take there. Another pause. I assume this is of a tactical nature, probably called here by 7am as well, just to sort of work out what's gone wrong in these last couple of rounds. They were having a lot of success towards B. That really felt like the Achilles heel of the Neighbours' defense. That's now started to strengthen up a bit. Yeah, it's tightened up. And yeah, for 7am, I think they need to just sort of reevaluate, rework their game plan here, and maybe go back to a bit of mid-control. Maybe try and lean a little bit more towards A as well. We've seen, yeah, not a lot of presence here on this A-bomb site in the past 5 rounds.
We haven't as well. We can see the money that we were once talking so highly about and praising so highly has started to dwindle now as well. So if they let this go on too much longer, they are going to be forced back onto the pistols. And if the Neighbours can punish that as well, they will end up ecoing just like they forced the Neighbours to do, which is something they really don't want to see here, especially with the lead going into towards the end of the half.
Yes, not late half like this. Worst time to be running out of money. You have to sort of scrap together buys just to sort of stay on top. And whilst they've done a great job at finding 6 rounds, it's not quite enough. They need one or two more. Yeah, you want a little bit more than that, especially on your map pick. LVN working his way forward with the sniper. A double AWP setup here on the T side, which is something a little unorthodox. I like it. We'll see if it pays any dividend as he starts to work his way forward. It'll be Bevy, the first point of contact, as that smoke fades.
Oh, and an absolutely crispy shot there on LVN, giving the man advantage straight off the bat there.
What the hell do you do if you're on the receiving end of that?
Cry.
Yeah, something like that. I'd probably
pass over it. Well, realistically, pass over info, but, you know, have a little... Maybe a little desk slam.
I can imagine. Desk slam, head in hands.
The flick is good, but doesn't quite hit there. And Suns will be forced to back off.
Ooh, okay.
The headshots are clean this round as well. Smooya going to be called to defend the site. Bunker down and will not. Vacancy has been an absolute storm.
Okay, uncharacteristic whiff from Smooya, and it gives a lifeline here to 7am. After a rocky start to the round, they've managed to recover things. They've got a 3v1 advantage. Extinct with a big kill. I love the jiggle there to bait out the shots. But Husky a little bit closer than anticipated, and 7am right back in the driver's seat. 7-4. The timeout was beautiful, and straight off of it as well, not to sort of say I told you so, right? But they lean over towards the A site. They realise, actually, yeah, things aren't working on B anymore. Let's go elsewhere. It's back to basics.
It is, and it is absolutely incredible calling here from LVM. And Vacancy that round, I just want to highlight, absolute monstrosity there.
It's the
charging
AK, that's why I want it.
It's the AK, it's the AK, it's the magic.
AK. Yeah.
Maybe I want it now.
Oh, you stay away from my AK.
I might go down, you know, slide an offer, start a bidding war. Having said that, Dobbo will take Vacancy down with a nice clean shot there. Will be forced to back off a little bit and relinquish control. Hold back. Shots through the smoke, not quite going to find anything, but Husky, ooh, pushes forward past the smoke. Catching Extinct a little off guard there. Smooya, Husky with nades out will fall. Molotov here, not quite going to spread, so Smooya can keep hold of this angle.
I'll be honest, Extinct's done a great job at just getting a dink off there. I thought he was dead to rights as soon as he started falling back, but it ultimately doesn't matter. Smooya goes for the overkill with the AWP, so...
Smooya and overkill feels like good words to put
it
together.
Suits him well.
It does indeed, and it served him well as well. As we can see here, 8 and 7, sort of up there leading the team a little bit.
Yeah.
And it will just be a save here from 7 AM. Money, as we've said, not quite as good as it was when they were on their little bit of a win streak, of course. They need to think about sort of the next couple of rounds. We are approaching the 15-round mark, the half. They are doing fairly well. 7-5, not the best, but it's not bad. They can still lose at the half here, which is what they're probably going to be trying to avoid. And they want to make sure that they have these weapons so they can come back into the next round a little bit fiercer. And again, just stop the Neighbours piecing anything together. They've been unable to get rounds back to back.
Yes, that's been the problem, right? It's been these sort of rounds slipping in here and there where they go for something a little bit different. Now, a couple of those early rounds that went their way, you see that little string of 2 at the start. That was off of the back of the mid aggression, right? They went in with the MP9s in round number 2, and they said, let's send 2 players into mid and let's try and force these early firefights. That's what they did. It worked out well. Then they said, I bet they won't expect us to do it again. And they did it again. And it worked well. But that kind of feels like the narrative. That kind of feels like where those rounds have come from. But it's feel-good frags. It's confidence boosters. And I think that's what some of these players need. They've got the individuals to get this done. They just need them in the right headspace. Bevy over the top of the smoke. Hears them, but doesn't see them. A little bit of damage dealt off to Vacancy. But everybody gets away alive, at least for now. Not for long. Extinct bites back.
Pushing up a little bit too far there off the kill, and will lose their life because of it. Bevy has pushed up into this little cubby, will be forced to move out the way. Unfortunately, nobody there to punish it, but getting ready, keeping calm, waiting for somebody else to make the first mistake. Gonna back off, however. Deciding that maybe this isn't where they want to sort of push. Poke and prod a little bit, found that they've sort of found the snake. Don't want to tempt it too much, don't want to get bitten.
Yeah, they tap the brakes a little bit here. They realise that there's some heavy resistance and Adam's still home and ready to cause some problems. About to crunch into this B-bomb site. Smooya posted on the sniper up towards long. Silence up on top of the box, though. Ready to take contact. If Smooya takes this peek, he's surely dead. No, he's just quicker. The man, the myth, the legend, hitting all of his shots. Zai does bite back, but still a man advantage here for the CTs as the C4 will be tapped in. But the retake surely gets this done.
Gonna push up. We'll have to be careful. Zai in the smoke there. Smooya, not really the best ideal weapon for the retake. Of course, hiding behind that pillar. Will not want to push, knowing that the AWP is in play.
Oh, wow.
Husky, not wanting to let him hide either, will take the fight. Dobbo, again, with the AWP, trying to push up. Play a little bit of a shotgun AWP here. Unfortunately, really not the time, really not the place, not the weapon either. And Husky holding down this bomb site, holding down the fort, and getting another round on the board. This means that no matter what happens in the rest of the half, 7 AM go into the second half, advantage, winning the half.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Such a round from Husky and Zai there as well. I said he was one of the men to watch out for at the start of this. He's sitting 12 and 6. He's having a fantastic half so far and just an incredible recovery to the round. Very bizarre the way that Smooya played that as well, actually. The fact that, he's been holding that angle. He knows for a fact that Husky on the bomb site who's planted that bomb has not backed away. But yeah, he still walks in scoped up and seems unready to take the gunfight. Yeah,
maybe it was confidence. Maybe it was just sheer confidence.
Maybe.
I said that Vacancy again with the headshots, leading the charge, and they are already onto site. Nobody there to contest it, and I don't think anyone is going to try either. There's not much that can be done here. They want to go into the next round, probably keeping this FAMAS as well because the money is not good. Couple of shots through the smoke, really not the weapon at that distance for the fight.
Bevy just wants to bump up his rating a little bit. He sat negative. He's not having a bad game, but Every little
Well,
helps.
he's neutral right now. He's not negative.
Is
Not
he?
yet.
7 and 8.
I am looking at the wrong person.
No, that's why he wants another.
That's close enough.
Yeah, I suppose.
Wanting to make sure that, he pads that stat. Doesn't want to be sandbagged just yet.
Not just yet.
Not just
He's
yet.
got plenty of time. It's early days. But as we
There are
approach-
other maps as well.
Yeah, and there's other maps.
If his rating doesn't go down on this map, there's still 2 more times for the Neighbours to try drag him down.
Yes. It could be a blessing or a curse, right?
Yeah,
But
that third map might be a curse.
it might just be. It might just be for Bevy. But we'll see. 9 to 5, though. And to be honest, 7 a.m. sort of finding their reins a little bit. They're looking good. They're finding a bit of momentum. They've got a good advantage in this final round of the half as well. There's not too much money to work with for the Neighbours. So it's 3 M4s, it's a FAMAS, it's an MP9 on Adam, a couple of contingencies in the buy that might just cause them some problems.
Doesn't matter. The weapon is inferior, but the kills are good. The A1S is finding 2, and the lack of utility is not really causing them much detriment. What will be worrying is if they can get onto this bomb site, which it's looking like they will. I don't think there's a defuse kit.
There isn't. No, that's it. They didn't have a lot of cash. They had to prioritize the weaponry. And it means the util's lackluster. It means that there's no diffuse kit in play. They have got a sufficient amount to get this retake done. And with the man advantage, it should have helped them. But now they don't have the man advantage and things get complicated.
Now the kill hit on Zai is good. And look at the health though. Even with the FAMAS and the MP9, the low health plays brilliantly into that even.
Silence is getting flanked. Oh.
Is getting flanked. Will lose their life. And even though there is no kit, there is plenty of time for the defuse, of course. And that will be 6-9 at the half. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
It could have been a lot worse for the Neighbours there at a lot of points. And it was a lot of, I think, individual plays here that helped them get as far as they did. Which I think will play really nicely on the T side.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you've got to remember, these guys are a mixed team, and even though we were saying in the pre-game they're a mixed team that have got a lot of experience playing together.
Still mixed.
They're still a mixed team, exactly. So CT side coordination is always something that isn't going to be first-hand. It's not necessarily going to come naturally. Exactly. Whereas when they're on their T side, you've got players like Dobbo, you've got players like Smooya, you've got players like Extinct that are just going to run around and hit headshots. And as soon as you kind of wind them up and let them go, they can cause some serious problems.
Absolutely. And I think we might be getting the opportunity to see that coming soon. Zai wanting to push up really far. Doesn't matter though. Extinct in the close range will get one. Will be traded, but Dobbo there to punish Silence as well. Keep the Neighbours in good standing with the man advantage. I'm loving the dual Berettas.
Yeah, me too. Vacancy, looking to go cowboy mode. Yeehaw, but he's a little bit scrappy with it.
None of the bullets hit there.
Oh, that's poor. That's
the Julies that round, just magnetic bullets going the wrong way.
Oh, that was hard to watch. That was hard to watch. But everybody stepping up with the Glocks, taking the round, getting the bomb plant. Decent bit of cash to come through from it. And whilst 7 a.m. do go for a force buy here, there's really not too much weight there. It's pistols all round. On the other side, stacked up with rifles. This should be a freebie here for the Neighbours.
It should. And then it's only 1 round difference as well. So this pistol round was incredibly important for the Neighbours to take as well, because this is their ability to get back in to the half at the early point as well. Not having to try drag it back late game.
Maybe
that
we
was
speak
clean.
too soon. That was clean. Husky. Unable to retrieve the weapon, but he'll double dip, and he'll continue to cause trouble.
And he's still got 100 health. Oh, his luck has run out, however, Extinct, putting him in his place. A little bit of a cheeky wallbang there as well. LVN. Ooh, got lucky there. Just dodged around the corner in time. But will be called upon to get 1, possibly 2, as the reinforcements swarm in.
Such a good flash there from LVN as well. Just keep them back for another few seconds to allow time for the rotates to come in. That's what's happening. His teammates are here. The reinforcements hot on their heels. A man advantage here for the retake. A kit on Zai as well. They do need to keep an eye on that. As the flash comes over the top, it's going to force Extinct back. And the pistols have to hit their headshots.
They do indeed. Smoked off, which is not ideal as well. As we've said, it's really hard to keep hold of this bomb site. Getting on is one thing. Staying is another. Will tap the defuse and force Extinct to maybe play around a little bit. Will get one and immediately punished as well. Others just too far removed. They do have to get on this defuse. The Molly going to buy a little bit of extra time. There is a kit, and it won't matter.
Wow. Unfortunate stuff. Tapping that bomb, it made the Neighbours show their hand, and I felt like they had a bit of a chance there. But as you say, that Molly just bought those extra seconds that they needed, applied that pressure, and yeah, that's round all wrapped up. no money here for the CT side, so this should be a tied-up scoreline, 9-9, and once again, it's anyone's game.
It is indeed. That was a round we weren't really expecting to see too much from, of course. Husky giving us a little bit of a scare there, of course. Getting a couple, making it not too bad. But, I mean, definitely could have been better. We can see the aggression here as well. They are wanting to push. But they've realized that there's nobody home on the other side of the map. There's no presence, no utility, no nothing. But it doesn't look like they care. It looks like they're wanting to push this anyway. They want to take the fight, and it's actually not gone in their favor there. They've lost the man advantage. It's now that they've decided that they're going to pick up and move, but the rotates will be heard. The footsteps passed across as information. Smia getting the kill there on Vacancy. Will be in the perfect position to mow the other two down.
Ooh.
Will be double peaked, though. Not much he can do about that.
His pistols are doing well in these rounds. I thought that was going to be a couple of freebies there for Smooya. Instead, he's only good for the one. Extinct recovers things nicely. But still, they've taken a fair bit of damage from this. They've given Silence an AK, which is a whole lot more than he should have got out of this round. Husky will drop. He doesn't want to carry that MAC-10 into the next. They're on a buy anyway. So it's, yeah, he's either got a chance to find a kill or two and get $600 a piece for them, or he's just going to throw it in the bin regardless. Silence, hoping to stay alive and kick him. But
They're
Extinct,
hunting.
yeah, he's hot on his heels. He's in hot pursuit. Hungry. Silence should be a freebie. There it is. Now they know where he is.
Ooh.
Oh, he's 1 HP. What?
Gets the second as well. That's absolutely huge. That is money. That is the gun. To spam just to make sure anyone doesn't peek him at the very last second. That's always the worst feeling. The round is over, the banner has appeared, and then you die.
Yeah.
But that is incredible. They wanted to hunt him down, and it cost them so much, and you can see that from the weapons.
Yes, yeah, very expensive for the Neighbours. And I love the fact that Dobbo was charging, right, to help his teammate. And then the second that one tap was hit, he just slows right up. He's like, whoa, I don't want anything more to do
this? Do I not?
Yeah, he
Does
realizes
it anyway.
It's a mistake. A fast play into the B-bomb site, though. The confidence is flowing through them. Beve, Dobbo finding the entries, but things don't go so well. And 7 AM finally put a round on the board, and they keep those rifles going. 2 AKs and an AWP carried across into the next. Oh,
10 seconds?
10, 15 seconds. Yeah, that was very, very quick. Blink and you miss it. We almost did.
We did, actually. And we can see, having a look, weaponry is good for the side of 7 AM. Money, still a little bit icky on a couple of people, but the Neighbours definitely not in a good spot. So this should be around 7 AM, but don't want to speak too soon. Every time we've said that, every time we've said they've got the weaker weapons, we've been told to sit down. We've been silenced. Husky, a little bit of spam through the box. Fortunately, not going to find any damage at all on Adam. Boosted up here. Waiting maybe for somebody to push him. Will, however, just be sat empty-handed waiting.
Yeah, it's always the thing when you've got players like this. Always a chance they could cause problems. Vacancy, only good for one there. Had a chance to find more, did good damage onto Beve, but the trade's good. A secondary AK retrieved and a 4v4 with a minute 10 on this clock. In fact, a third AK now retrieved. And yeah, they've got a real shot at this.
It is 3v4. It is only a single man disadvantage. And now with the AKs in hand, this could be really dangerous, especially on the T side. Oh look, the triple discipline gets one. Waiting to see if they can hit anything else. And I'm pushing up. Dobbo, however, will steal the kill right from underneath his nose. Keep pushing up, trying to find the other two. Not quite sure where they are. Already pushed around the other side of the map.
Adam up close to the smoke, just to deter anyone from pushing through, but for Zai and Silence, they cut their losses. They'll back out of this. It's an unfortunate round for them to be losing. It felt like they had the advantages. When you actually look at the original buy that came into this round as well, it was what, like 2 rifles and then a deagle, a couple of MAC-10s. Yeah, this is the problem. You've jinxed them.
We have. The caster curse is real, everyone. And yes, we said that. We said a couple of good kills, but it was when they got the first, and it's the weapons passed over. That's the big one as well. You get a single AK in the hand of any of these men, and it is dangerous.
Yes. Well, weapons carried across into the next then for Silence and Zai. And what that will mean is that they can pull out a buy following with it. So Silence will be able to drop over a rifle. Vacancy can buy himself.
Husky in a little bit of a sticky situation here. Might be bought by
Well, it's actually going to be LVN that'll buy the MP9, so Husky will get a drop, and we'll see a decent buy coming out of this one for the CT side. In fact, actually 2 MP9s, prioritising that util, so I like that, but we'll see if they can get it done. They need to put those MP9s in favourable positions to be able to take some of those close-range duels. There are still 2 MAC-10s in play as well, and okay. Scrappy stuff in middle again, vacancy only good for the one before dropping.
The fight in mid there could have been a lot worse. I was expecting a little bit more of a bloodbath there. But we can see already on site, but getting onto site, as we've said, is not the problem. We can see Zai there, backside. If he reared his head right now, it would be all over. The double peek there, Husky will fall at the hands of that. That's unfortunate. Peek in, expecting to see one met with 2 barrels as well. Silence, gonna back away once again, thinking that this AWP is way too valuable to even risk it, especially in the 1v4.
You can tell he's the AWPer, right? Look at how many deaths he's got. His teammates, 15, 16 deaths, he's got 9. That's how many rounds.
No, you guys go ahead. You guys go
ahead. It's a shame, though, because it feels like he's had a real lack of opportunity in some of these situations. He's not been able to really fire off any shots in this round. His teammates are dead, and it's the call to go and save, right? Ideally, he wants to be going in. He wants to be going, trying to go for some kind of crazy clutch, but it's not the time for it. It's not the place for it. Lovely flick onto Extinct, but surely doesn't get away with this. Okay, Silence, giving us a bit of a masterclass. Doesn't find the third, though.
If he'd got the third there, that would have been crazy, and we've seen that so many times. But having said that, this is something we said coming into this, that the individual plays will be crazy. It's suffocating.
Yes.
CS as well. Its T-side is you blink and they are on site. Yes. They're just decimating everything in their path as well. And whilst it is difficult to keep sight after you get the bomb plant down, their path to get on, they've already taken down enough people that the save is already on the cards by the time the bomb's even down.
Well, it's going to be another fast play here into B. Smooya charging right in with the MAC-10s. And I can't help but feel the Neighbours have shown a lot less respect for their opponents than 7am have been giving the Neighbours. Smooya spamming away. Vacancy on the other side of this smoke. Finally, first blood drawn, and it's Husky to find it. But the retake has to come through, and it has to come through quickly.
Not quite enough bullets in the mag there to do the job. We'll get one, however. Spam through the smoke is good, and Dobbo will fall. Smoke now, the cover, the bandage is ripped off. LVN somehow does manage to survive. I say that, plucked from the smoke, will be traded, however. And it is Adam, going to be spamming through the wood, hoping to find something. They are just going to stick this, and it will be the nade to take him down. Brutal. 7am, cutting it a little bit close there, but managed to get around on the board. Stop the Neighbours putting together too much of a spree here. And we'll finally get another round here.
I can see the cogs turning there for Adam. I liked that.
Yeah.
Spam through the wood, but didn't commit to the spam. Knew that as soon as he spammed through that wood, they were going to push the smoke and try and get into him. And he was just going to try and sort of cross paths, get in, try and deny that. Yeah, I like that. I liked that. But unfortunately for him, it does not work out. Team 7am with another buy up, but not too much weight behind it. As I was saying before, the Neighbours have shown no respect. They've hunted, even when it's maybe not the smartest thing to do. They've charged in and taken these duels just dry in some situations, right? Even without a flashbang or maybe one flash over the top and bam, they're ready to take those gunfights. That kind of confidence is what wins you games like this. And yeah, they've got the mechanical players to get them there.
That's what we're talking about pre-game is the mechanics. Well, 7am, they've been working as this team for a while now. They have sort of the smoothness and the rule, sort of the playbook with them behind them, whereas the Neighbours would be relying on mechanical skill, and we talked about this. They are all mechanically gifted players, but don't have naturally the cohesion that 7am might have. And here we go. We see it again. Beve with the absolutely insane sort of aggression there, just wanting to take the fights, not wanting to sit back, play passively. They want to take the fights because they know that if they play it, carefully, tiptoeing, walking on eggshells, they're never going to find what they need against a team like 7am, and sort of how, not necessarily patiently, but how methodically I've been watching them play.
Yes, yeah. I mean, 7am, they make the right call to fall away and save here, but the Neighbours showing us exactly what we were expecting as soon as they went over to their T side. Just no respect, charging into these sites, taking those individual duels, and you're absolutely right. I mean, there's a reason that several of these players on the Neighbours have played and been picked up by Tier 1, Tier 2 teams, and it's because individually they're fantastic. 7am, credit where credit's due, they're an amazing team. Individually, they're great, but they're much, much stronger as a unit. Whereas, yeah, the Neighbours have got those pieces that can just run into a site, that can just find those opening kills. Smooya hasn't had a lights out performance this map so far, but yeah, give him an AWP and he'll cause some real ruckus. Extinct's actually having an incredible showing here, 21-20. Another one of those really, really talented riflers that, yeah, is just consistent. He's a very, very consistent rifler and will always, always deliver. Not always top of the scoreboard, but yeah, today he's given us a bit of a show and I like it. I hope this continues and he keeps it up throughout the series.
Now, Extinct was actually one of the players that was pointed out to me very early on when I was doing all my research for coming into this with the pistol round and stuff that was meant to happen on Thursday, of course, aired on Twitter instead. I was talking with a load of people and one name came out of everybody's mouth and it was Extinct.
Yes.
Everyone was
He's
like,
correct.
this is the guy you want eyes on. And this is the guy that he'll be the top of the scoreboard. He'll always be impressing you. You'll be saying his name every round. You'll get sick of it. And I've not been disappointed.
No, he's absolutely fantastic. And this is his playground, right? Extinct's had plenty of opportunity playing in the upper echelons of Counter-Strike, playing against some really, really high-level players. And he holds his own, right? But he's not sort of top end of the scoreboard. But this is his playground. Games like this, teams like this, Extinct will farm you. Husky, up close, spams away, headshot found, but can't transfer onto Dobbo. Damage dealt, but we evenly trade into the 4-on-4. Still the pressure here towards the B-bomb site. The Neighbours 1 round ahead, and with the CT economy looking very, very fragile, this could be their ticket to victory.
Could indeed. We are getting very, very close here to the all-important match point. Well, game point at least, not necessarily.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
It is a best of 3. So we're still in the early stages. Very much so. Now, we have seen the Neighbours take a little bit of a quieter round here, choosing not to storm onto site like we've seen them done so often here as well. Choosing maybe to wait for somebody else to peek into them. You know, playing with their food a little bit, per se.
Yeah.
Spam through the smoke is wild and desperate. Unfortunately, will not find anything. Neither will the nade.
I love Vacancy's off angle here, but Vacancy kind of needs a teammate with him to his left to sort of draw the attention away. If you've got somebody on an AWP, right? If Silence comes in with this AWP, he holds that angle, the attention's drawn away. Silence can fire off the first shot. If he gets the kill, then great. If he doesn't, then he still falls away. The eyes are on him, and Vacancy's got a good chance to utilize that off angle. But by himself, it's a little problematic. So he does start to fall away. 19 seconds left on this clock. Neighbours have to hurry up and pull the trigger. They're cutting this real fine.
And there's 3 on site as well. Ooh, caught with the nades out there. Adam will fall. Kills left, right, and center. Smooya getting a collat there as well, no less.
Collat, maybe not quite.
I only heard one shot go off.
Yeah, but he killed Dobbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still a collat.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
You still hit 2 players with 1 bullet. You just don't need to tell them which side the players were on.
I guess so. Smooya's just found 2 kills, and his stat line hasn't changed.
Hasn't changed?
No.
Which I'd say that's talent.
Yeah, actually, it's quite impressive.
I'd say getting 2 kills, but your scoreline not changing at that point is skillful.
That actually feels like a riddle, doesn't it? It's like you fire 1 bullet, you get 2
question.
kills. Yeah, you get 2 kills, but your scoreline doesn't change.
What is your name?
What is your name, and how has it happened? That's a pub quiz question.
It is. Well, I'll have to write a section next year.
Good. All right.
Get on it. Did you participate yesterday?
I did not. I popped in and said hello to my good friend Reaper Steve.
He is a good friend.
But that was that. I didn't know anyone else in there, so I wasn't.
Oh, you should have said. I mean, we
met
for the first time about an hour ago. But next year on my team.
Okay, all right. I'm quite good at pub
we had
quizzes.
all of the producers from everywhere just on one table.
Oh, I'm good at pub quizzes. I won the Insomnia pub quiz. Me and my team. Yeah, I got the big check and everything. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I want you on my pub quiz team next.
All right.
Now, having said that, we looked away for 1 second, and suddenly everyone's health bar is low, and LVN's even lower. Tapped out of the round there. Extinct wanting to push up a little bit further as well, disrespecting that smoke completely.
Well, he's going to force him back. The flash causes some problems for Husky. Extinct. Oh, just spots the arm. Doesn't quite find the lethal blow. Nade almost finishes off the job. Trades are good, but Zai, that is incredible. What a triple, and what a time to pull it off as well. Flash will force Silence off the angle. Sorry, not Silence, that's Smooya. Too many S's. Zai is on for the ace. He's found himself 4 kills, and he's hungry for the 5th. Smooya might just give it to him.
He's worried about someone coming behind him. Nade not going to find anything. Zai wants this, though. Zai knows where he was. And once this smoke fades, having said that, Smooya backing away, though. He doesn't want to give over the ace.
Nope.
He wants to leave Zai hanging, and it's Husky to ruin the chances for that. We haven't had an ace just yet. I'm expecting one at some point in the game with so many talented people.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those situations, right? If it's a matchmaking, you're tilted. You team kill him. You say, well, you're still my ace 4. But at a time like this, maybe...
You just want the round
maybe,
win.
just maybe, Husky and LVN, or I think Husky and Vacancy, sorry, can't really justify...
Hey, I found him. Do you
I
want me
found
to
him, I
save
found
him for
him.
you?
Yeah, let me just...
Nah, you have him, I don't mind.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe still could have done it. But I think that's the time.
It's
to
better
just pull
safe than sorry.
It's better
you know?
safe than sorry.
Especially at
it's
this
13-12.
competing for the finals as well. Nobody wants to give away their space.
You're right. You're right. Smarter decision to just kill him.
The smart decision is never the fun one.
Yeah.
Okay, it's almost never the fun
I'll
one.
drink to that. Yeah. All right.
He is drinking to that. Now, Husky here is going to be called upon, hopefully for multi-kill. Will be peeking into the barrels level. Actually, smoke coming out as well. Might just have spared his life. Will force them to back away a little bit there, not wanting to rush through that. Couple of shots fired off there. Just sort of scaring them off. Little warning.
Yes.
Don't come here.
This game's been really bizarre so far, though. It's sort of come in waves of contention. Every now and again, 7 AM pull ahead, and they look like they're just going to close it out, and they look like the better team. And then Neighbours claw it back. And they've been playing on the back foot. They've been playing on the back foot throughout the entirety. And it would be interesting to see if they can take the lead towards the end. However, 13-12 should be a 14th here. Zai farming, absolutely farming. A 4K in the last round, another multi-kill here with the double, and a chance to deny this plant as the digits tapped in. LVN's going to charge forward. They won't actually be able to stop it, so a little bit of extra money for the T side, but that is going to be all she wrote. Smooya, almost the headshot, but not quite connecting.
You could see it. You could see the cogs whirring as well. You could see him pull the deagle out, line it up. Not quite quick enough to pull the trigger there, though. But 7 AM, 1 round away from match point. Now, this is where you've got to really make a decision. You can try keep them away from 15. Because 15 is where it gets very scary, because every round is a force buy.
Yes.
You have no ability to take the foot off the pedal. It is full speed ahead every round, because you have no leniency, no contingency rounds as well. Or you let them take the 15th, and then you just have to try play that. You either try keep them away from it, or you lean into it, you know?
Yeah, no margin for error. We'll see if it comes to it. Zai, back-to-back 4Ks. If he can find another, then I will go buy that mana drink. Maybe after the series. Got to stay focused, got to stay sharp. Still 2 maps to be played, potentially. Beve pushed it up on the angle, ready for the aggression. Husky just jiggling. Doesn't want to give him an inch. And Silence will be the man to draw first blood. That's a massive opening pick for 7 AM.
Gonna fall back off the angle, though. Held it so diligently for so long. Husky, however, still doing his little dance. Keeping hold of this angle, making sure that no one is coming anywhere near his site. It is closed for business. And the Neighbours really have to try to figure out what to do here. They've already lost a player. Everyone's spread out. Everything's so on lockdown.
Husky takes a couple of ticks from the molly. That won't be heard. He's too far away. Adam takes contact in Donut, but doesn't find the kill. And doesn't do all too much damage either. Silence picking him apart. Beautiful AWP shot, but now he's in a bit of trouble. Apparently not. Hits the close flicks. Tries to get the no-scope. Shotgun mode with the sniper. Doesn't quite work out too well for him, so he swaps out to the USP instead. It's scrappy as all hell, and he loses out. But Adam, with a slither of health, it's 8 points of it. 20 HP, no bomb. And no chance as he peeks into Vacancy and Silence. It's got to be perfect Counter-Strike from here on out from the Neighbours. Overtime or bust, and they need 3 rounds to get there. I don't fancy their chances.
It's going to be an uphill battle for them. It's doable. Don't get me wrong. If any team could do it, it would be the Neighbours. Of course, the favourites to win going into this whole tournament. That dance around the pillar, though, I'm reeling.
Beautiful.
It was scrappy, it was messy, but it was Counter-Strike, and I love it. But as we said, there is no time for a break now. The Neighbours have to put the pedal to the metal for the rest of this game.
Nothing better than an AWPer that can hold his nerve. When he's got players charging him down, when he's under a lot of pressure, has to take those close range fights and delivers. Silence still causing so many issues. Massive kill. Husky through the wall as well. Oh, this is over. Surely.
It's a 3v5, and it's still winnable, but The weaponry is inferior. Look how little utility they have to work with. A single flashbang.
Look at the mid-aggression here as well. Vacancy's got it. I can hear the bells ringing if he's looking the right way. Timing's everything. Here's the steps and Bevy drops. That's the bomb. That's it.
They're left, they're right, they're center, they're everywhere. There is nowhere that they can go now that 7 AM hasn't already got on lockdown. Bomb in their possession. The Neighbours, it's going to be individual plays. It's going to be a miracle needed from them.
Oh, wow. You might as well just type killing console. Dobbo, Adam, surely no chance. Little gap in the smoke. He's going to start to play forward. But so many angles to clear, so many corners that the CTs are hidden in. Dobbo with a beautiful headshot, but 4 more to find and 25 seconds to do so. Now does have a sight line on the bomb, but as soon as he peeks around this corner, he is dead to rights. There's too many to fight with, and Vacancy will finish off the job. 16-12, an incredible map from 7 AM, and an incredible recovery off of a bit of a shaky start. That's their map pick. Overpass next. I'm quite excited for this.
I am indeed. If that is anything to go by, you guys are in for a treat, we're in for a treat, and so are the players as well. Now, I think there's a lot of things that we can take away from this. Little things that we can talk about as well is we've talked so much about it. Want to mention again the difference between the mixed teams and the real structured teams that have been together for a while, playing things like Prem as well, all of the qualifiers and stuff recently. You can tell the difference, and it's moments towards the end where you can just see the clarity a little bit more.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's lots of structured teams here this weekend that the Neighbours will just blitz through because mechanically they're that much better. There's a huge skill gap, right? When you get to 7 AM, mechanically, definitely, players on the Neighbours are better players, but the gap isn't as big, and it does leave this gap, I guess, right? This chance for 7 AM to just sort of slip through and topple them on that cohesion and that coordination that they have as a roster. That's going to wrap things up for map 1, though, folks. We're going to jump to a 10-minute break. When we return, we'll be back with the second map of this series. It's Overpass, and you definitely do not want to miss it. So go grab yourself a drink, but don't go too far, because we'll be back in a jiffy.